Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft, and I am pumped to record today because I get to show you cool things and then I get to do cool things. I have finished filling in the other two corners of our mega build over here, and during the process of that I got myself a trident from a sneaky drown that was trying to disrupt my building process. And once again, been doing loads of AFKing for ink sacks, and this actually might be enough to get us through the last phase, which is to build something here in the middle. I say last phase, it's the last phase of what's been done so far. After we build the next central bit, I get to talk a lot more about this project and reveal its secrets to you and where it's going to go from there. And for recent events, which I'll talk about when we get to that in the next episode, that has just become so much more exciting and interesting recently. So let's check this thing out from afar. I mean, you know what it's going to look like, but the feedback on this project has been so awesome. A lot of you are really enjoying how bizarre and unusual these shapes are, and like I said, more is going to be revealed about them in the near future. Oh, it is so cool. This is once again a really interesting, shapely Guardian farm project. We did this on season 4, however this one is just coming together so different. But we're going to spend no time here apart from this clip in the beginning, because now we're going to head over to our Team Star base. If you saw the last episode of Hermitcraft, then you'll know that the war has begun. The flag of truce was blown up by Concorp and then all hell was unleashed, but it kind of ended in a stalemate. And I am anticipating now that basically there will be more attempts on our base, right, and we need to shore it up with some defenses. So I cannot wait to get started and show you a really cool trap design that I have had in mind for a while now. So let's gather up some supplies and head over to our base. You know, our team base here is looking pretty good. This thing hardly took a scratch. I remember a gas ball being redirected into our building over here on top of the turtle fort, but it appears to have no damage to it, which is fantastic. And the gas tower over on this side is looking pretty good as well. I don't think we really need to do too much here to shore up what's going on. What we actually want to do is get down below underground, because it is down here that I'm going to be building some traps. So what we've done so far is set up a labyrinth of staircases to act as a maze to get the other team, if they come in here, to explore and then fall for some of our traps. But the thing is, so far we haven't really built any, or I haven't. I know False and Doc have been up to a lot in here, and Impulse has as well. We need to now start to put some things behind these iron bars, because the other team are going to come over here, explore and investigate. And a lot of the time, the trick has just been to hook it up to a cave network and then punch out some of the torches so that there will be mobs for them to encounter. And now we need to set up some real traps. So I need to pick a location where we will build our first one. So I found a spot that I think I like. There is already a cave here, but I figured this will do, and then I get zapped by a laser beam. There's actually a guardian in here. I wish I could secure it so it could stay there. That's something else I wanted to do, is bring more guardians into the area. Maybe I'll actually just leave that cave alone and hope that fella sticks around. Why don't we go check that one out over there? Maybe False is doing something there. Okay, I have claimed this one, and I've claimed another two as well, as we will be creating 3 of the same trap. And you're probably thinking that's a little bit silly. You fall for it once, you won't fall for it again. And not this trap. This is the type of trap where you fall for it every time if you choose to try and go past it. So I have 3 different things that we can activate. This is going to be a destructive trap. We could use fire charges, we could use TNT or lava, because these are essentially dead ends which we are going to make look like they lead somewhere, perhaps into some sort of chest room or storage vault, that kind of thing, right? So as I walk into this room, you can see that it's lit up, which is drawing our attention to the tripwire right here. It will be relatively easy to notice if you're looking downwards, but the trick with this tripwire is that there are 2 ways to set it off, because there are 2 rows. So let's take a look at the lamp. I'm first of all going to sneak across, and it hasn't gone off just yet, and I sneak forward again and it goes off. So that can be the redstone signal that then activates our trap once they've walked into the room a little bit. So let's now think that G-Team are none the wiser, they're wiser now, and they notice the tripwire hook. Well, what are you instinctively going to do? You're going to break that stuff, right? So let's break this one, And you can see it actually blinked for a moment. That was kind of unexpected. But if we break this one, then it does turn on. We have broken both tripwire hooks, and yet the lamp has turned on. We have essentially created a redstone signal from where someone might break the tripwire to think, I'm not going to fall for that trap. The way this works is it's on my hotbar. I'm holding it in my hand. We're using an armor stand. That means that this thing is already triggered, right? Can you see it there? This is how it works. It's already triggered, but the signal is off because we're using a redstone torch. This block is powered, that is inverted, and therefore if the string is broken, then the redstone is going to turn on. This redstone has the tripwire hook on that block there. So either choice that you make, unless you know exactly what to do here, which I believe we have sort of learned isn't possible if you were to tamper with this, because you get a pulse. So you would break that one, you get a pulse, walk over this one. So you can't go through like that. And if you do just choose to walk over them, then it gets set off anyway. So if they want to come past the tripwire hooks, there's no way of disabling them. To lure the G team into this trap, we need diamonds. Diamonds are always a great way to lure people in, but I don't actually want to put a diamond block in this area near where TNT will be going off. So I was trying to think of a cheaper way to do that, and it reminded me of a misconception with this project over here. I also have some administrative work to do. As many of you talked about in the comments, you could nudge into these villagers and then they would float off to the top right. We can actually put these villagers into a team where they wouldn't be able to be nudged by other entities, and that includes the player. That's something that I got to do later on. I'll take care of that, don't you worry about it. But anyway, I had so many comments about this, and I just don't get it. I think a lot of you forgot what exactly these villagers are here to do. They are here to trade miniature blocks. So why am I putting a diamond in there? That makes no sense. I've got to trade with the gem trader first. So red villager, red gemstone, and we go in here and we grab our diamond block. But this is a mini block. This isn't a real diamond block, people. This is the sort that goes on your head. Look at me now. What a strange sight. I was thinking I might put this on an armor stand and have it hidden behind a door so it looks like there's some diamond stuff going on back there. So this doesn't work. The proximity to the door doesn't really help, and it doesn't look as convincing as when you've got actual diamond blocks back there. So stepping side to side, you can see that that is a room full of diamonds. There's also a torch back here, so remember this is going to be dark to make the tripwire less visible, and I put some obsidian in here with some stone bricks around here to make it look like this is a proper structure with a way in to get to something back there, right? But they're never going to find that out because the TNT is going to drop on them once they cross over this tripwire or attempt to break it, and that is going to come from this hole up here in the ceiling. So what I've done is I've just messed around with the stone in this area to make it look a bit messy, look like a little bit of a cave, and try and hide the fact that there's some parallel openings on either side. And I think unless you're really looking for it, you're probably going to walk in here and head straight into that room. Maybe you're expecting the trap to be in the room, but actually it's on the way in. Okay, important sound to be heard. We have the click of a dispenser. That means setting this off will activate that dispenser, which we will put a piece of TNT inside of. And I was just thinking, the diamonds are actually probably going to make you more vigilant, which could almost be perfect, because then you might pay attention, notice the tripwire, and attempt to break it. So I've just got a feeling if they choose to go into that room, it is going to end up with a trap successfully set off. Now I've got to put the TNT in there and back out of this room, and also tidy up this little gap and that one over there. So what I can do is back out of here and then place down a tripwire, and it won't set it off. One final thought is that mobs can spawn in this area, so we do actually need a torch. I'm going to hide one up there. Hopefully that's just enough light for this area, and that's our first trap done. So my memory serves me well. The Hermitcraft Mall has a string shop. 1 diamond for... What a bargain. That's a really reasonable price. Except they're all out. Nope, this last chest has some. Yeah, I've run out of tripwire because we've been using it all up. So I needed some more. And I don't think I've shown you this yet, but the mall has a new fancy entrance. Here we go. Bam. Look at that. Quartz and green. Looking pretty gorgeous on the inside, but it's the outside where you're supposed to view this thing. Let's fly. Come on, server, be kind to me. Well, anyway, there it is. Such an interesting structure. I really like this. I love the combination of all these really unique builds in this area, and that's just another fantastic addition here. So this next trap is going to start out with a maze, and I've decided that I will punch out the torches that you see here so mobs can spawn inside of the maze. I think I might throw down a few pressure plates here and there just to mess with the enemy's heads, so they're walking around on tiptoes, for example. But anyway, there is like a network of these little tunnels right here that lead to a specific location, which is just over there on my left. And with my camera account carefully positioned not to spoil other things in the area, you can see some of the hallways right there. Over there it's mostly a dead end and there are a few more behind me. In fact, if you explored the whole thing, its only logical conclusion would be to come to this point right here, which stands out as significant as I found this cave. So I thought this would be the perfect place to put something like this. So you'll look at the button, you're probably not going to press that as you think it might activate some sort of redstone, but you open this and there's just another door back there. Now this is where the trap is going to be once again with tripwire. So if you're thinking I'm not going to fall for this and you break it, remember what happens. The trap is going to get activated anyway. And you know what, I should probably add a couple extra dispensers somewhere back here as well, because we should drop lava behind the players. If they actually walk into here, the first one is going to set off the trap, and the second one this time is the breaking the tripwire trap, because I realized you can kind of reach the door without standing on the first tripwire, so I set it a little bit further back, swap those around, so you have to set off the trap when you come into here. You can't open it and realize there's nothing behind it. So what we'll also do, I think now, is install some pistons just somewhere around here, so a couple of blocks retract and some lava falls out. So we have this that needs to be wired from here, and these dispensers have lava in them, and we did have two additional ones over there, but I've decided to go for ones in front and behind of where the player will be when they set this off. That is more likely to effectively trap them. On the way out here we need to cover up our tracks just in this spot, and then this thing is ready to go. So dispensers there. There's dripping lava. I didn't think of that. So how about that? The redstone will run over the top of the piston, so the block gets pushed forward, and then we have a dispenser up there. I tried actually putting the lava in this spot, so the block below was flowing lava, but that still creates the particle effect down below. And now the last thing to do is to place the string right there, and that trap is set up and ready to go. It is dark in here now. Luckily I know the way out. And I put pressure plates down everywhere. Wow, okay, that is going to be fun for them to explore. I think we'll punch out that torch as well, and there we go. Third and final trap from now. I want to lure in the other team from a distance. This is supposed to look like a control panel. As you get closer, you're going to see the various heads of the opposing team and some buttons here. So this should look like some sort of redstone control interface, but of course it is a trap. And so as your eyes are drawn to there, you're probably not going to pay too much attention to the ground. And as you go through this repetitive bit right here, it actually opens up and there's tripwires which are obviously disconnected. So around the back here, what we're going to do is have a one-time use redstone circuit. So as soon as that block's powered, the redstone block is shifted over and this clock here is activated. Wow, I just coughed up half along there. Where were we? When this block moves forward, the sticky piston pulls downwards, so the glowstone is no longer in front of the dispenser, and this clock is then set off to activate the dispenser. Of course, what we're going to put in here are our fire charges. I do indeed need to make more, so I'm hoping to do that off camera and come back here and put them in there. Also, I've just realised, and I'm glad I noticed this, but the green head is kind of in the way, so maybe we shouldn't have one of these in the middle. Maybe we should actually have a sign with a little bit of text, and then that might, again, take the G-Team person coming over here's attention, and they might try to read it rather than paying attention to the string down here. So I'll grab a couple more heads and we'll have a sign in the middle. If there's one thing I've learned about YouTube and making videos, is that it's very easy to make a fool of yourself. You see, earlier in this video I said we wouldn't come back to the base, and now someone in the comments is probably going, Asuma, you're back at your base, you said you wouldn't go there. Well, at the beginning of the last episode I was wearing this skin and I said that I would keep it for a while, and then in the very next cut I was wearing my Team Star skin. And yeah, it's hilarious. But here's the thing, things just changed during the day. You see, I decided, hey, we should have some, Team Star skins, and I threw something together, and then I recorded that next clip. And that's just how it goes. I completely forgot that the previous clip happened to just say I wasn't going to change my skin. Anyway, we're back at the base to pick up some player heads and some fish, and I'm doing this very efficiently. I need to clear out my inventory space, and of course I said we wouldn't come back here, but I needed to pick up some supplies. Alright, the extra heads are in place, so I'm going to activate the trap in just a moment. We need to punch out torches, and we're going to remove these stone bricks as well, as there is a cave system here kind of running through it, so I thought I'd leave it connected, and there is a skeleton right there. You're going to see me, aren't you? You going to see me? Oh, I should have just left him alone. So why did we need all of that fish? And where are we now? We are in the armory that Impulse has created for our team. This is a place to come and pick up essential items and our armor as well. As you can see, each of us have our own set of armor. Now from here on out, it is likely when we go investigating the other base that they have rigged traps as well, and we could potentially be in a little bit of trouble. So we needed some disposable food, and of course I've got loads of this stuff lying around. So we're going to drop this off over here, which means if we die on the battlefield, we respawn, come down to our restocking room, and now there is some plenty even of fish for us to just grab and take with us. So when we activate these dispensers, it almost sounds like it clicks twice, but I don't think that it does. Let's do a little experiment here. Let's pick up all the iron, 4 from 4 different dispensers. Now I was thinking what could go inside of these dispensers. Maybe each one of these could be different as well. We could put a sign up the top and say what's in here. But I was thinking a shield, a sword, a bow and a flint and steel would be some pretty good things to pick up. So we need more shulker boxes of supplies, that being arrows, to grab as well. But essentially we want to turn this room into the ultimate place to come and re-gear, and then we'll probably have a little room nearby with a bed in it so that we can, respawn and be right next to this. This wonderful location here is our bone farm. Not only does it produce bone meal from skeletons, we can get bows and arrows as well. So over in this chest I fished out all of the bows that we gotten from this. As you'll see, some of them are half damaged, and I realised this probably ain't so bad because most of this stuff is disposable going out into the battlefield knowing that death may be upon us. So what I'm going to do is repair these really bad ones, but keep ones that are like this, that have got, let's say, at least 100 shots. Some of these are enchanted. I've also picked up a little bit of armor, which is probably better than iron because it's got a few enchantments. But the main thing, though, is that I'll be able to fill up some shulker boxes with arrows from this. So now we have a bed to respawn at with easy access to arrows, food, armor. Of course, over here we've got our shields, flint and steel. Before you say it, that's actually a dropper, not a dispenser. Of course, easy access to sword and bow as well. So we can certainly get up to some shenanigans over in their base, and I'm sure they've rigged a few traps, and if we die it'll be a quick mission getting geared up again. So during all of that pandemonium that was unleashed in the last episode, something rather interesting happened directly below us down there. Let's jump off and glide down. A horde of zombies were summoned, wearing the faces of the G-Team. And I want to investigate where they came from, and maybe we can find their trap and perhaps turn it against them, is what I was thinking. This might actually lead into their base. And I don't have a shovel. I was going to say, what's the best way to go down a water stream that wants you to go up? Well, just dig to the side of it, pretty much. So let's go ahead and do that. The water will flow out to the side, but it will allow us to go straight down like this. Aha, what do we have here? Oh, a chest. This will possibly lead us into a bad place if there are zombies in this system still. But otherwise, it should lead us to where these things were created. Okay, it looks like this thing had some sort of holding room. Maybe this is a mechanism to stop them going down into this space. Ah yes, look. Right, so all of those would have been opened by redstone. There's the redstone, and these dispensers would have activated. Very clever, very, very well put together. I like this. So up there is probably where the zombies came from. Ah, a tripwire and a dispenser. So a zombie comes through, and then they get equipped with an item. Yeah, and there is the spawner. So now we're inside the place that we probably don't want to be. Ah, from here we can see the spawner. Right. And there are some steps. And this is probably a drop down from up above. Interesting. Look, I have amassed a small army while I've been in the area. Of course, we can press this button over here and actually send them into our base. But we wouldn't do that, would we? And also, look at this redstone right here. I think I found a weak spot because this right here probably leads into the G-Team base. I think we have found a weak spot in their defences. I'm going to have to get my fellow team star together, or we're going to have to see where this redstone goes. So next episode, my friends, we may just be breaking inside of the G-Team base and finding out what on earth is going on over there. It is going to be a lot of fun, and I would like to address a vocal minority of you. I'm not going to say all of you, just a few of you who had some heated comments in the last episode. I would like to remind you of something, that we are all friends on this server. We all enjoy playing together, and we are all enjoying being a part of the events that you are seeing unfold in these episodes. It really is all good, and I hope that you understand that, although it seems like a vocal minority of you don't and get quite upset. Just take my word for it. No one here is upset about anything going on. And anyway, this is going to be the end of the episode. So if you enjoyed it, then leave a like. As always, thank you for doing that. It supports the channel. Jeez. And eventually I'll be able to fly. Look, I can't fly. I'm just going to sink here. Thank you for watching, people. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.